Barak Shalom. Welcome to part 2 of the video where we identify the signs that lets us know that it is time for the Exodus. So you should be coming from part 1 of this video series. If not, you would be completely lost. So you need to go back to that video to understand exactly what the major signs really are. Here we're just concluding the study. So we begin in the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 15 through 16. It reads, "And Yahuwah shall put under the ban the tongue of the sea of Mitzrayim, and he shall wave his hand over the river with the might of his ruach, and shall smite it in 7 streams, and shall cause to tread it in sandals." That sounds physical. That sounds like the waters are again going to be physically parted. But wait, we'll get there. Verse 16. "And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, those left from Asher, as it was for Yasharal in the day when he came up from the land of Mitzrayim," or Egypt. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 8. "And there shall be a highway and a way, and it shall be called the way of Kadesha. The unclean does not pass over it, but it is for those who walk the way, and not a wandering fool." Oh, and remember we spoke about a great purging, about the rebels being purged? Well, let's read Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8 through 9. "And it shall be throughout all the land, declares Yahuwah, that 2/3 therein are cut off and die, and 1/3 is left therein. And I shall bring the 1/3 into the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I shall answer them. I shall say, This is my people, while they say, Yahuwah is my Elohim." Now, very important, 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 29 through 30. "See, the days are coming when the Most High shall begin to deliver those who are on the earth, and those who dwell on the earth shall be astonished at his coming." But wait a minute. Now we're going to go down to verse 35 through 42. It reads, "But he shall stand on the top of Mount Zion, he being the Ben of Yahuwah, whom we know to be Yahusha. And Zion shall come, and shall be shown to all men, being prepared and built, as you saw the mountain carved without hands." This right here is precept to the book of Daniel. I believe it's chapter 2, verse 37. "And he, my Ben, shall rebuke the wicked deeds of those nations who have fallen into the storm of their wicked life, and shall lay their evil thoughts before them, and the torture with which they shall begin to be tortured, which are like flames. And he shall destroy those without works by the law which is comparable to me. And when you saw that he gathered another peaceful multitude to himself, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away captive out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the sovereign, whom Shalmaneser the sovereign of Asher led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came to another land." Note, my shpaka, this right here is the northern kingdom of Yasharal, who were led away captive, that never returned to their own land. They were led away captive because of rebellion also. But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the Gentiles and go out to a distant land where mankind had not dwelt, that there they might guard the laws which they had not kept in their own land. And they entered into Pirath, which is Euphrates or Euphrates River, by the narrow places of the river. For at that time the Most High showed signs for them and held the flood till they had passed over. But let's pause a little bit. That land that no man dwelt, where is that? Where is that place? Well, that land is actually the United States of America and also parts of South America. So we must note that when Christopher Columbus discovered the United States of America, persons were already living there. Yasharal were living there. Coincidentally enough, those people, they were actually keeping the biblical laws. For instance, during the time of a woman's purification period, she would be separated from her home until that flow has ended. Well, they even saw the women leaving their homes to go to a particular place, a set apart place, until that period is over before they then return to their homes. And also, carved into stones and into trees, right there in the United States of America, we see Paleo-Hebrew writings. They literally carved Hebrew writings into stones. Yasharal dwelt there. Let's get back to the reading. Verse 45. For there was a great way to go through that land of 1.5 years, and that region is called Haroset. So they took 1.5 years to leave where they were taken into bondage to actually reach or to arrive in the United States. But you may be asking, is there not many rivers? Is there not oceans that's going to be stopping them from crossing over? Well, yeah. But we previously read that Yahuwah, he showed them signs and he actually worked on their behalf because they were really ready to keep Yahuwah's laws. So he held back the waters so that they're able to cross over the waters. But let's see what he's going to do in the times of the end. Verse 46 reads, Then they dwelt there until the last days. And when they begin to come, the Most High shall hold, shall meaning future. So this is now the end times. We're now transitioning into the end times. The Most High shall hold the springs of the river again, that they may go through. Therefore, you saw the multitude at peace. Yada Yahuwah. But at this point, it's not just the northern kingdom, but also the southern kingdom, because we know that Yehuda and Benjamin, they were also scattered throughout the Caribbean, throughout South America, and throughout North America. So to conclude our studies, what are the signs of the second Exodus? Well, we see that there is going to be an ensign that's going to be lifted up, a flag, a pole, a banner that's either going to be in the Shema or it's going to be right here on the Eretz. And we are all going to see it. We also acknowledge that there are going to be many other signs in the Shema. And also, there is going to be a cloud by day to guide us, as well as fire by night to guide us also. Just as it happened in the land of Mitzrayim. Also, we will be hearing the sound of a shofar or a trumpet. And I can imagine that we would first hear the trumpet being sound. And that's going to allure us to actually look outside. And the sound of the trumpet is what is going to lead us to look outside. And when we do, we're going to then see that banner being lifted up. So I am first expecting to hear a trumpet. And upon hearing that trumpet, when I do look outside, I should see a banner. I should see a flag. Something in the Shema. And we would also know, because the earth is going to be in so much distress, even worse than it is right now. And there you have it, Mishpaka. The second Exodus, it will not happen secretly. The entire earth is going to see it. The entire earth is going to know. And they too would not remember Yahuwah for the first Exodus, but actually for the second Exodus. Hallelujah, Yahuwah. Shalom, Mishpaka.